Welcome to Momentum Monday. Today is November 17, 2024. Howard, you've been traveling around the world. What's going on?
I can say that I'm not caught up. I'm hoping you catch me up. I mean, pretty fucking little
Okay,
something for everybody in this market, Ivan.
okay. So let's talk about the stock market, even though maybe you should be talking about the crypto market, but that's fine.
Yeah. So,
I mean, many of the stocks have given up a lot of their post-election rally already, especially tech stocks. Like
okay.
so far, we're seeing that there are two main groups that really benefited um, after the elections. After
Hmm.
and so crypto is number one. Anything related to crypto remains super strong. Even last week, when most stocks pulled back, anything related to crypto, like we're talking ETFs and stocks, they remain strong. They made either new highs or they went sideways for the most part. We're talking MicroStrategy, Coinbase. Um,
Yep.
Okay, let me just pull this up. So MicroStrategy, Coinbase,
They look the best.
Hood
Yep.
in a way. Um,
But these are tight little pullbacks. These are very bullish setups.
yeah, I mean, I'm comparing this to what happened in the rest of the market. Like,
Yeah.
look, for example, the small cap. I mean,
Yeah.
almost have given up the entire gap. Nasdaq 100 has given up the entire gap, the entire rally. So this is definite relative strength that we're seeing in crypto and anything related to crypto. Obviously, the miners pulled back a little bit, but they still held better than the overall market. And they're
Remember,
probably
the whole market cap of crypto is less than Nvidia, so it's tiny.
yeah. And so we have to highlight this because typically when a group shows relative strength,
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah. But,
continues to
it's not going to
outperform.
save the market. That can go on for
Oh
months.
yeah,
Well, correct.
exactly. But if you focus on that specific group, you might do better
That's
than
bullish. Yeah, Solana
than
just.
owning an index.
Yep.
The second group that is outperforming and showing strength is financials.
Yes.
Obviously, as the market is expecting the regulations to benefit
Yeah,
financial
Goldman
companies,
Sachs looks beautiful.
they all look the same, kind of. I mean, they're so high correlated, like Goldman
Yeah.
Sachs and JPM and Morgan Stanley, and just
Yeah, they all look the same. Okay.
any, just you can just might as well just own an
Yeah,
ETF.
that ain't bearish. That ain't bearish.
Yeah. So these are the two groups that really stand out. Like anything else has been under pressure, like
Yeah.
big tech stocks, I mean, they've had a great year, great 2 years. So
Great
it's,
tenure.
oh yeah, definitely great.
Yeah.
15 years since 2010, basically.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, Tesla is kind of a little bit doing better than the rest, obviously, as it's
He's
expected to
president of the
benefit,
United States. I think that's a pretty good position to be in.
as they're talking about
And Elon.
easing the adoption of self-driving cars and probably humanoid
Is-
robots. Tesla is the company that stands to benefit. And even right now, after hours, it's up like 4% in the pre-market in the overnight trading. So
Mhm.
Coinbase, Tesla, as we talked about last week, they remain the two highly liquid momentum stocks that are likely to continue to be in play at least until the end of the year. Like
Yeah.
I, personally expect those trends, crypto and financials, to probably continue until inauguration, and maybe after inauguration we might see some sell the news as usual.
There's pent-up demand, right? There was 4 years, and I heard the whining because I'm a crypto investor indirectly. And the they fought some battles, right? Like they still had a bull market and overall, but from in there was a lot of deserving regulation that Gensler probably had every right to do it, but he was fighting against tech. And in the end, tech is just to give the people what they want. And he picked everybody picked the wrong enemy in Elon with his reach. Um, and Peter Thiel. These people are not going to be bullied like the rest of the world. So yeah, tech. Tech came out on top of this election for sure. Um, and not so much Fang Tech, because Jeff Bezos kept his mouth shut. Tim Cook, it's not going to chime in. They have too much to lose. So I think you maybe see, you know, more deals this look at Salesforce broke out. I think if we look at Salesforce, like, I mean, are they a tech company or like that company was in the doldrums for 6, 7 months? And so companies like this are going to benefit because they're going to have a favorable government to do deals, buy their way out of growth. So I think Salesforce is signaling that.
Yeah,
Uh, Cloudflare, there's a lot of, Palantir, who the fuck knows? I mean, that thing
yeah.
is a shadow. It's a meme meets a great business means, what a trend. I mean, wow. What's the market cap now?
150 billion.
Oh my goodness. So
It's
again, like
still half of the market cap of Salesforce.
just
Obviously, different valuation. But we continue to see, some of the old trends continue to persist. Like Spotify and Netflix, they just continue to make new
they're
highs.
actually making profits finally. And
Shopify also gapped up
very
after
bullish on
earnings.
Shopify because it's just going to be very hard. That's probably my favorite of all the underperformers. It hasn't come near all-time highs yet. But e-commerce, when it does come back in favor, um, you're not going to have all these fake e-commerce companies. They're going to be bigger and stronger because they have to have margins now to survive. So the companies that are built on Shopify would be built to last. So that bear market, kind of like real estate in Arizona, the bear market in e-commerce, when it finally heals, kind of like Spotify and Netflix, when they finally get it right, the Shopifys of the world are going to be an incredible business. And I think you'll start seeing the Shopify chart will start to look more like the Spotify Netflix chart. Again, I'm a seller of Netflix up here personally because uh what a run and um and I like Shopify. Like if I'm swapping, I'm more Shopify than Netflix down here. But
Mhm.
there's so much to choose from, Ivan. Like as much as the fangs were rolling over and I look at that small cap index and I'm like, they took a beating because of probably drugs and biotech.
Yeah, I mean,
I
one
think
of the
it was
big
more
reasons,
like, I think it was more political.
and let's not forget rates. Rates continue to make new highs and the US dollar. So
That's a scary thing. I think you got to look at TLT and just kind of keep an eye on that $90 range on the TLT.
yeah,
And,
I
and
mean, it's right there.
a little nervous. Like that's where you kind of got to watch. Rates kind of drive it, but the banks look fine. I think a lot of the pullback, and like I said, the small caps has to do with biotechs and all the new,
Yeah, biotech was hit pretty hard. Yeah,
oh my goodness, because maybe they deserve it. But, from the drug companies, this is what's his name that Trump put in.
the Kennedy. Yeah,
And that's a Kennedy move. That scares me because that's a political move and you got to be nervous. But that base was a shithole. Like it underperformed forever. So this is what you have to be careful of in the market. Look at that base and look what happens when the breakout is fake. So you got to be careful in the fangs and the QQQs
yeah,
because you got to remember if you're chasing this market, you can get punished. Now, if you've been in this market for 10 years, it's a blip. Who cares if it drops 10%? But anybody that chased that Trump breakout, is underwater right now. So,
yeah, exactly.
so that's all you got to remember. The market can sting you if you're chasing, but there's still so much health in this market.
Yeah, 10-20% pullbacks in the indices happen, even during bull markets. And, they
Elon was
might,
saying, the first year on Trump could be hell because of all the changes. So it's
yeah,
like,
absolutely. I mean, if he really tries to lay so many
what he did
government,
to biotech, he just in drugs, he just put his foot down on them.
yeah,
You got to be careful.
yeah,
But
you
yeah,
just gotta be focused on the niche plays, like and on the teams that are working. And
yeah.
another team that has been working is um, companies that provide energy for data centers and just like AI related energy companies. And
You
on
mean
Friday we saw like a small cap one like B had a huge breakout on huge volume,
oh,
and typically. This
What's the weekly or monthly look like?
technical action precedes further strength, after brief consolidation. So
Massive move.
I think this is the biggest weekly volume.
But
They
what do they do? I'll have to study it. So
so
what's the
they
market?
have
5 billion.
fuel cells. They provide fuel cells, which helps data centers. Like, I mean, it's better to investigate, but obviously, it's becoming a hot theme. And if you take a look at like a similar company is like Plow, Douglas
Mhm.
Dynamics, which is one of the was it Plow? Was it some? No, it's a different one. Wait, give me a second. POA POWL.
Oh, that's my
Powell Industries, one of the best performers in the past couple of years. We went from 25 to
300.
350, uh, and it's still a relatively small company, 3.3 billion dollar company, and that growth is related to AI and data centers. It
Okay. So
manufactures.
the POWL and BE. Good one. Okay.
Yeah, I think
BE.
BE could be a similar story to
We're doing a little work.
Powell
Okay.
Industries, even though BE is a bigger company. It's already 6 billion, so it's not gonna make the same move, but I think it has a room to run uh to 40 in a strong market.
Thanks. Okay, I'm looking those up. I'm putting them on my watch list. I think Powell's been on it just because it's a trend stock, but BE. All right, I'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, Powell has been really strong, but not super liquid to trade. Like it's like more of a holding stock, like position trading. It's not like good for swing trading.
Yeah.
But look at this growth. Like
Yeah, I mean,
incredible growth,
yeah.
earnings and sales growth, and the market is rewarding that with much higher stock prices. It's
Yeah, I
not
think
even
this
that expensive.
IWM, Ivan, if you're like, imagine you're all over this. You're trading this one.
Which one?
Because IWM, I think this needs to hold here. There's a lot of technical traders who are going to be all over this.
Yeah, I mean, this is an important level to hold.
Yeah, I
And
mean, you're not trading against this level. Every machine's trading against this 230
yeah,
level.
exactly. I mean, I would say 220 is the more
Up below
important level, but
220, you might be in trouble. But
there's so many other uh, stocks, not so many, but there are other stocks and teams that are working better that why would I
yeah,
waste time with this?
I got it. But yeah, there should be some. The market is probably rallying this weekend on no bad news, just because technically we're in like a buy zone.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yep,
so the important thing is let's see how if that upside gap tomorrow is gonna hold.
yep,
Um, and I mean, yes, we're still in a bull market.
yep. Okay, how do the trannies look? IWIYT. They had broken out too.
They're just holding.
It looks great. So
They're holding.
financials, transportation, energy. XLE looks like it could break out.
Yeah, it tried to break out, but it's just in a messy no zone, basically, in a
I know,
range.
but if it gets going, man, no one thinks energy is going to work. And as Lewis spoke about in my event, what happens after gold is energy catches up, and that is a hell of a base if it resolves to the high. So the relative
Yeah,
strength of the
it's
week,
a long base. Yeah,
that could gap and go. Again, it's not really a buy here, but I'm watching it, man. Above 100, this goes.
and with the strength of the US dollar, we saw gold and some of the other like,
Yeah.
having us a big pullback. It's normal. It
I
has
like
had.
that one too, but I just don't know gold well enough. I own a little bit, but I'm not trading it. But the XLE is interesting to me.
Are you buying it or you already own it?
I own a little bit just to keep an eye on it, but I wouldn't, above 95, I'm watching it. And the other one that's just, forgetting Bitcoin, Solana, if you're not in this Solana breakout this weekend is insane because it's just
Yeah, it's
powering
just following through. Yeah,
meme coin. Well, it's powering every meme coin, right? So
yeah.
it's $100 billion. Like people just don't, that's a massive blockchain. Like every little punk trading a meme coin, that's their brand, Solana. It's like the MasterCard and Visa of the young economy, right? Like you and I don't talk about it, but everybody who's thinking about making a buck, a quick buck, or like has an idea is building towards that Solana ecosystem. and it's quite a toll road. It's really spectacular. The kids that bought this thing, and this was like the subject of the FTX fiasco. This was a $9 block. It's $240 today.
Yeah. So Howard, do you have any plans to launch your own meme coin?
Yeah, I mean, at some point, like I'm learning it, right? Like you have to have a plan, but I spend a lot of time with young people in the industry, and meme coins just make sense to me because it's not related to having to do complicated things, right? It can exist very quickly, and it can
Like in
exist
my mind, it makes sense. Why don't you make like a stock to its meme coin and
because I don't want to do it until I really know what I'm doing.
people
It's a
can
really
tip other people with that meme coin. It makes all the
good.
sense in the world.
Yeah, but you have to do it when it really has when it really has some benefits to the community. So again, you only get one shot to do these, right? Like a SPAC or like anything. And so if you're going to do it and the technology is at your back, you do it when you know you can execute. And I agree with you, but like I haven't figured out the exact reason that our community would embrace it or so again, that's the point. Like it's like a Broadway show. Anybody can launch something, but if you launch you have to really think it through. It's a good question. We're going to do something, but it has to have some value to the user. And I don't want to like structure it the wrong way, but we're thinking about it. But it's still a tiny industry. Like Solana's $100 billion. It sounds like a big number until you're in the giant scope of the markets. And Nvidia is
Do
3
you own
trillion.
any meme coins?
I literally do, but nothing worth. It's just so speculative and fun, and nothing that's like a
What's
significant.
your favorite right now?
Well, I mean, the one that I'm watching is Fartcoin. Like that's how st silly it is. It's all-time highs. Like and the more you
Yeah,
say it,
that's
the
all
more
that
it
is.
becomes a meme. Did you know? Have you got again? Like it's the silliest thing, and that peanut story is hilarious. The squirrel thing,
Yeah.
$2 billion market cap. So it's capturing the imagination of a generation, and it's easy to use, and there's literally no story fundamentally. So everybody knows that it's going to go to zero. So the peanut story, what's super interesting about the peanut story, after 3 days, the kid who started it got nervous and sold his position for like $7,000. It's now $2 billion. So even the creator didn't believe that it could be something.
Hmm.
And I think that's what's fascinating about it. It's not being done to scam people. It's kind of a joke. And
Yeah.
sometimes the joke works, and the person who created the joke doesn't even make money off it. That's funny.
How is
Whereas
that possible?
whereas DJT was a scam from
how
the
is he not
beginning
making money, Howard? Can you explain that?
because he sold his whole position at
He
like
sold
a
everything.
penny.
Okay. All right.
That's what I'm saying. Meaning he didn't start it to make money. He started it as a joke, and then he got nervous because it was worth a few bucks, so he sold it. And whereas the Trump thing was a scam from the get-go, and everybody was in on the scam. And that's infuriating because you know who made money off this? The bankers and Trump. Versus a meme coin is like it's a very inside thing. But like the insiders don't even believe in it because they're just launching it as a joke. So I think that's cool. Now, again, like it's very dangerous for the average investor to speculate, but I find the spirit of it is less about financial and more about ridiculous fun. It's like a game
Yeah,
of chicken.
sentiment. I mean,
It's like a game
it's
of
like a
sentiment and
collectible
chicken.
basically.
Yeah. And that's a
Collectible. Yeah.
great place for traders to learn how to trade for nickels and dimes.
Yeah.
That's what I like about it. I'm not saying it's going to last, but that makes it interesting where a young technical trainer can trade with 20 bucks and truly learn how to trade against everybody else. That's pretty cool. On weekends and at midnight or 2 in the morning, if they can't sleep, they can learn.
So this market is still too small for the SEC to care, or maybe the next 4 years
The SEC is
they
never going
won't
to get
care.
involved under
They
this
won't care at all.
administration.
But is it
They won't
possible,
care at
like
all.
after years of people, let's say, losing a lot of money, and somebody would come out and sue, like all the
Who you
owners
going to
of
sue? It's buyer beware. And by the
all,
way, the market exists in Korea, North Korea, Russia. It's like video games. It's
Hmm.
like it's not a US thing. So the US can regulate it all they want, but this is happening or in Singapore and in China, and it's a global market. So, and Trump is whoever is behind Trump is correct. Like you can't regulate this. If kids want to blow their brains out, they're going to blow their brains out. They're vaping, they have anyways, it's a fascinating market. I'm learning as much as quickly as I can for an old man. But I love Philip Morris here too. I hate the company, but love the stock. It's in my degenerate portfolio. So lots to choose from. All right, buddy. Have a great week,
All right, Howard.
everybody.
Thank you.
See you, everybody.
See you next week.